Alright, so this is a little bit of a challenge supplement to my last video. In my last video I took this model, the mole with caracal model, and made it low poly, converted it in, made the normals, but when I did this I only pushed my model down to this is a 12K vertice model. I think that I can go much, much lower. So I want to kind of show that the vertices and faces are a little bit of an illusion because so much is covered by creating that normal map. So I'm going to touch on a few points that I didn't touch on in the other video, but this is really a supplement to that, just to kind of, a little bit of a proving a point and a little bit of just kind of show you what I mean. For one, I realized I didn't explain two things. Normals attach to your model versus the normal map. So normals just determine in any model, what's the inside, what's the outside. Now it seems obvious to us because we have human brains, but to a computer it needs to be told. So when it's looking at this model, it determines inside and outside. You can always view that by face orientation under this little drop down widget. If it's bright blue, those are your outsides, and if it is bright red, ooh, that's your inside. So face orientation is on every face there is one, and that's how it determines the base normal. Then there's the normal map that determines how things get puffed out and makes it more dimensional, but that's really just sort of an illusory effect. Regardless, we're going to drop this thing down because I believe I can cut these I can cut these verts. I'm going to try for around 3K. So to do that, we're going to get rid of our cage because we'll have to remake the cage. We're going to go to the low poly model, and I'm going to do this kind of quickly because like I said, I covered this in an earlier video. I'll start with a planar decimate. We're going to go up to we're going to go all the way up to 8%, or sorry, 8 degrees. We'll do that. Go for another decimate. Collapse. So right now we're down to, it didn't shave that much off with the planar decimate, and it probably honestly will gain a lot of those back when we triangulate. So not a lot achieved there, but let's take this down. Let's take it down to a quarter. Alright, so taking that down to a quarter, oh, it makes them look pretty rough, but it also takes us down to the 2,900 faces. So let's iterate that. Actually, you'll know I talked about that in the other video about instead of just taking it down to 0.25, I'm going to see if it looks better, and I'll actually do this. Let's do a little cheaty bit here. You can do this. If I can, I don't know how this is going to show up in the recording, but alright, so that's our face there. Move this guy over here. And we want to see if I were to lower this, can we do a comparison? So let us go to iterate instead. So we'll do 0.5. Actually, you know what? Thirds was always the old rule. So that, and apply, and not build, decimate, and apply, and I want to be kind of close to the other face count, so I'm not, let's just do like that, and apply. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is I want to show you the comparison between this iterative decimate where I went 0.6, 0.6, 0.6 versus the just doing it all at once. So this is basically the exact same number of polys, but this is done iteratively versus having it do it all at once. You're not seeing a lot of change, but things like this where this gets really marred, where this kind of I feel like holds the face shape a little bit better, this is why I do the decimation iteratively. So that being said, this is much, much lower. I'm going to make it just a teensy bit lower because I'm sort of trying to do a little point proving here. So we're going to decimate down to another 0.6. Oh man, I don't know if I can go that low, but sure, why not? Let's do it. Alright, so this is actually, we're going down to just under 2K vertices. Let's take this model, do a little bit of cleanup like we did before. So we're going to go into edit mode, select the whole model, face, let's triangulate those faces, which brought us back up a little bit to, what is that? Yeah, that brought us almost back up to 3K, and that's okay, because we had to regain those to make sure it was triangulated. Now we're going to go to mesh, clean up, we're going to delete anything that's loose, deleted one loose, select it all, mesh, clean up. I don't think we're going to have anything to merge by distance, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to... Oh, wrong. Oh, my limlock was off. There we go. And 16 vertices there. Do one last mesh, clean up, and delete loose. And we got a little extra loose removed. So, feeling good about that. We got a little extra loose gone, got this. So now we are going to take this guy and we'll do our usual steps. So, oh, you know what? I didn't even apply that, did I? Oh, I forgot to. I'm the worst. Alright, now I gotta do that again. Alright, back into edit mode, mesh, clean up. Wait, let's select the mesh, face, triangulate faces. Alright, mesh, clean up, delete anything loose, nothing good. Select all, mesh, clean up, merge by distance. Nothing. Okay, so that's good. Back into object mode, we're going to take this, we're going to make a copy of it. This is going to become our cage. Now we're going to hide this, grab our cage, go into edit mode, grab the whole thing. I still had my shrink and fatten selected from before. I want to see my high poly model just so I make sure I floof correctly. So you can see there on the end of the axe handle, I've got to floof it a little bit to get that covered. We are appropriately poofed out. Check. Alright, so that's that guy. Now back into object mode, we hide our cage because we don't need it. Get our low poly model, hide our high poly model, and we go into make our UV. Now, I've played around on this a bit. This looks awful when you go into re-unwrap, but just smart UV project. Okay, that's what we'd expect. My old normal's there, but it's no good. So now we go back over. So I've done the projection, and let's go into shading. Now, I know that it gets a little funky if I go over this stuff, so I'm just going to clear out the material, and I'm going to create a new one. And back in here, go add image texture, boop, new, mul, normal, super low. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm going to do this as a linear. Let's see if it likes it better if I do that. Alright, so then this is still set up from before. We're not going to rehash all these settings just because we are aware of them from the video. Get my cage object. There we go. Get my high poly model selected, control click to my low poly model, get that selected, and bake. Alright, there is my normal map. Oh, I forgot a step. So when I'm looking here, I see a lot of really sharp lines. I'm noticing those because I forgot that I wanted to go back into layout mode, hide my high poly model, and shade smooth. There we go. Now we're going back the right way. So go back into shading, high poly, low poly, grab that, rebake. There we go. Now I'm not seeing those sharp lines that are telling me that, oh, that I was forgetting to shade smooth. Oh, look, there's a foot. There's another foot. Alright, so now I've got that, Now we're just ready to export. So let's save this as image, save as, mul super low, PNG. We'll just, color space, let's see if it likes the linear color space. I never can remember. RGB, let's just do that. And then we go back into layout, grab just this guy, make sure everything else is hidden, file, export as wavefront object, and put that in my downloads folder, mul caracal, super low, and I don't really need to worry about anything else here. Oh, yeah, I'll just leave it. Make sure I limit it to selected only. I don't think I said in the other video, but if you've got other things out, make sure you're just limited it to selected only. Export the object. Alright, now we'll pop over into Taleweaver. Alright, so now we're in Taleweaver. One thing to keep in mind is if you have a lot of models that are the same and you import them, it's really difficult to tell which default is which. It does kind of show you down here, but I always get confused. It does show you down there. I should just get better, get good. Alright, so we're going to just do that. And I'll go to import new asset, and we're going to import the super low. And then I'm going to desperately remember where I put my image file, asset, import new asset. Did it put it in my documents folder? No. Did it put it in my downloads folder? I thought it did, but it's not there. Blender files? Ah, there it is, Blender files. Alright, so that's my super low and my super low. So now, let's load in the model. So grab, this is the default super low, okay. So we'll grab him, rotate him around just a little bit, and then look at that vert count. Ultimately was 4,000, that's nice. Now we're going to select that normal, and let's see if I have done this correctly. Let's see, that's the mole normal super low, and let us fix the texture. Oh my goodness, look, check it out. There is not a bit of quality difference, I don't think, between this, which was a 4K model, or a 3K, really. Oh, sorry, well, it's, yeah, 4K in this, because it brings in other information. And the other one, now, there's a little bit of funk here, where it looks like I lost a bit there with the transparency, but that could be something that's inherently somewhere I missed a step in the UV. But that, I think, just shows you that you don't have to have the polys are kind of an illusion. So when we were here, just remember this is the model, and it has the super low poly count. If I go to shade flat, you can see that is Klonk City, and when we bring it in with our normals, that normal map is what dictates the actual textures and the actual spacing. Now, yeah, there's a little funk here. There's probably some things I could have done better, and maybe I shouldn't have taken it down quite this far, but it just kind of evidences that you don't have to have super high poly models to make them look good in Unity and in Taleweaver. So, that's all I got. Have a good one.